Hello, everybody. I'm Henry at Blue Heron Arts Studio. Um, Today, I'm going to study a special technique called one-stroke dragon. I have seen lots of Japanese artists does that, uh, as if there's a magic in the brush or the hand of the artist, so they can draw the scales of a dragon body effortlessly. There are a number of things that we'll experiment. But first, before I do anything, I want to discuss the use of a brush and what kind of brush is ideal. In Oriental art, we use a all-purpose shape brush. So it's definitely not to use a flat brush. A flat brush will not do. A bristle brush will not do. Why? Because the Chinese or Japanese calligraphy brush is made of long hair, goat or weasel or whatever. This brush is made of 100% pure synthetic hair. It's commissioned by an American abstract expression or large painting class instructor. Her name is Roland. So we designed this to make large strokes, basically, and with resilience. So it will keep bouncing back into the shape. See, when you use a new brush, when you just start to make friend with a new brush, so to speak, you need to do this just to feel it, to feel how much pressure you need to bend it, to change the shape. If you use the brush like that, it will do nothing for you. If you press too much, or the brush is very soft, you press this much, there will be no resilience. So you end up with a blob and lose control. So either it's too little pressure or too much pressure, you will destroy the resilience, the bouncing spring. So ideally, I would suggest you to practice this while the brush is dry with a new brush. See how the bristle spring out. So when you draw something, you will constantly feel this bouncing power. So you need to go forward while you kind of go back a little bit. So back and forth. Or you press and lift to adjust the bouncing position. So the bristle is always behind movement, obviously. Behind the handle is ahead of the stroke a little bit. But if it's like this, there's no bouncing. You pull the brush or drag the brush, no use. So a good calligraphy stroke is made in this position where the brush does the job, does the work for you. And you just control constantly this position. So to make another metaphor, if you don't have the brush, you can try just find any long bristle washing brush like this. And just feel the bristle or toothbrush, so number one principle is you must change the shape, give a pressure, by giving a pressure, change the shape of the brush. Do not just draw with the tip of the brush. That way you are not taking full advantage of the resilience. So when the brush is in use, it always fan out like that, okay? Which means although the brush is pointed before you do the stroke, and in the end you will return to the original shape, the pointed shape. During the process, the brush is actually fanned out and bended a little bit to give that force. So for this reason, when you do the dragon, you need to use a large brush, roughly about the size of the snake kind of body of the dragon. If you use the brush this way, sideway, you will not get that kind of resilience. So the scale is created with this kind of back and forth, very subtle movement. There's no just the speed and the pressure and a little bit back and forth or lift and press. Whatever, I cannot describe it, but I just tell you, there's no magic. It just takes practice. Let's see if I can do that, because I never done this before. By observing, I think I know the trick. There are other tricks I'm going to share. So first of all, I will use acrylic ink on non-absorbent paper. Okay, I will use a small brush, just a paint brush, to dilute the ink in the water. Make a gray. I think ink consistency is another thing. You don't want it too thin, I think. So I will just use this dark ink to soak this brand new brush. I'm supposed to use water, but I want to use the liquid ink to start with. Okay, and this is just a gray. Okay, in any case, you want to soak the brush completely so the brush will keep in good shape. If you only soak the front of the tip of the brush, it will not form a pointed shape. Okay. And that's just like that. And second, I'm going to darken two sides, or maybe just the whole body with dark. With dark acrylic. Just massage into it. Okay. At this point, I don't want to decide the left and right side yet. I just want to make the brush kind of evenly dark. Okay. And then second thing is to use a second color, double load. Okay, I got another brush here. I will use a clean brush and load with yellow, diluted with yellow. You don't want it too thin. And again, it's acrylic painting basically. You use acrylic, I guess. On kind of art paper, any kind of non-absorbent hot press paper, very smooth texture. So this is what they do. Just put a strip of yellow. Like that. And then on the other side also, and leave the sides black. I'm not sure if I got enough, but that's what I read, watch. They do that. Actually, there's no secret. The secret is really in the first section I described. Before loading, I explain. Okay. Nobody has done that. Okay. Now I can use more black and they need. Okay. I can't wait to just see if the texture comes off. So the color could be adjusted later. So the two sides is dark, basically. But there's no distinction. When you paint, you have to adjust to the situation. So I omit the head of the dragon. Let's just have a go. So press. See if I can fan it out. I think the paint is a little bit too dry. Or my paper is too absorbent. Doesn't happen. Okay. It's like oil painting. Won't happen. And I don't have that back and forth motion, I think. Maybe that's another technique I need to. So if you see, it comes.